I have to start the review of these Kef LS60s here in the great room, because the great room sucks. Like, oh, it's so beautiful, it sucks. If you don't know, go watch my video on the mono solution, because one speaker is the only thing that really works up here. Because two speakers echoes on everything and you lose it. So one is much more concise. Yet somehow the LS60s in this space are the best sounding speakers I've heard in this space. And that includes the Klipsch Forte 4s, the Buchardt A700s, a ton of speakers, the Klipsch RF7s. Just brought them up here, and I was like, they're gonna look beautiful. There's gonna be windows, by the way, tape from the smoke. And it's gonna look great, and they're gonna sound like ass. And while I don't think these sound the best they're going to in this house, I have to just acknowledge the fact that sitting here or standing literally anywhere in this giant void, these are doing a better job filling this space. And it is a space than any other speaker I've put here just for, shits and giggle testing break-in. And I'll give you a little bit a tour of the units now, since this is gonna be the nicest light we're gonna get. I've got the FIO, what are you? You're the Q7XF R7R, I think it's the R. Anyway, let's take this off my head. So that's feeding this coaxial, so it's all my music and FLAC on here. These are an entirely digital speaker. Self-powered, $7,000. For those of you who are lonely, oh, by the way, when you think of $7,000 speakers, you're gonna need to think of headphones.com, because that's who sent these to me. And they're like, hey, we're gonna loan these to you. Can you please send them back? Please don't damage the boxes and send them back. And I'm like, I got you. I got you. Anyway, first of all, not even a little bit of wood. These are aluminum. I believe aluminum, though there's some sort of magnesium. They're very, very narrow, which means that let's just get to the thing. What the hell is that? Why is it so small? If you know the Kef blades, wow, I'm all messed up. If you know the Kef blades, and my opinion on them, they suck. They're like this tall, and they look like a blade, and they have side firing drivers and a little tiny coaxial in the front, and they always sound thin and lifeless. This is the affordable version of those. And this is even smaller. Is it a 4-inch? So it's a coaxial driver. So we have a surround that is the, I guess, mid-range, and then the tweeter. But that's all it's firing forward in this space. The sides, both sides, have, I believe, active. I don't think either of these are passive. We have 4, what appear to be, I don't think they're 5 1/4. I think they're 6-inch. They don't like 6 1/2 though. It's very strange. Like, I'll give these speakers this. I think they sound amazing up here in the void because of how strange they are. Because when I turn up the volume and you're playing something, wait, let me go back to music. Ooh, let me go back to music. Let me go back to music. So music is made up of parts, and there's the low end, and then there's the mid-range, and then there's like the higher upper mid-range, and the treble. And obviously the treble is coming from the tweeters, which, you could have a little tiny tweeter and shoot at 5,000 feet. What's confusing me is the mid-range, the mid-bass, the vocals, the tonalities are usually the front-firing main driver. 5 1/4, 6 1/2. Bigger's usually better to really give you that presence. But these are mostly side firing. That is a little tiny little baby thing up front. And yet if I stand back here and I put on Rodrigo and Gabrielle Temple Bar, and we skip to the middle, like the details of the guitar are all there. And I'll get it to a vocal track where this is actually gonna shine. That is not a vocal track. That is Stratgeist from Kensuke Ushio. Mob Psycho. Do I have anything that's, oh, seatbelts. And one thing I did notice is I am feeding it digital, and therefore I have to use remote control. You have to use remote control. There's no way to touch things on the speakers. We'll go over the actual back of the speakers when we bring them down the basement for the last half of this review. But I find myself adjusting the volume quite a lot. If a song is Super quiet, I raise the volume. And then the next track comes on and it's like super loud and like, oh my God, I'm gonna blow something up. Because I feel unsure that I can protect those little 4-inch front drivers, but if it's a digital input and it's coming out at a standardized level, it shouldn't blow up even if I maximize. It shouldn't. I'm just too afraid to test it. So I'm gonna put it up 2 or 3 notches. Remote's very basic. For a $7,000 speaker, you have next track, last track, play, pause, which is for the Bluetooth connectivity, if you connect with Bluetooth. And you have volume up, volume down, and then source change, which I hate when they put that on a wheel. Don't put it on a wheel, because you know how lazy I am? It's like volume up, volume up, volume up, volume. Oh no, what you did, you went too far to the right, you've changed inputs. So it'll go from coaxial digital to SPDIF to Bluetooth to Wi-Fi. It's like, I gotta go back. And then you have power and mute. I basically have had like that R7 just playing constantly for the last week and a half, and I just mute the speakers. So if I bring this, hi. If I bring this back up, we play something else. Yosi Horikawa's letter. How am I hearing the imaging so well? Like, let that play and I could just mute this. Because here's the thing, like you assign it left and right. You could tell in the app, of course, there's an app for the $7,000 all metal speakers. There's an app. You assign it left and right. So my question is, and I don't know if I'll have this answered, are these and these doing the same thing? Or do they know it's a left channel and therefore it's doing cancellation thing, like it's pushing left channel information left, but then out of here, which is it knows, because how you set speakers up, it knows that they're gonna be doing this. What is it doing to make this do this? Because it feels like science. Like we're gonna reference the Buchardt A700s a lot because they're the exact same price, $7 grand. And they're both very, very technologically heavy speakers. But this one's got a more odd configuration than the Buchardt. Buchardt has front firing, a lot of shit front firing and some shit back firing, and you can load in the profiles and do all sorts of things to manipulate the sound. This has a physical difference of having the side firing drivers, and I'm wondering if it's doing a weird phase alignment thing where it knows it's pointing these two at each other. It knows it's got little tiny drivers in the front, and it knows it's going to have some space to the right. And what if it's just throwing things? Because when Yosi Horikawa's letter comes on, and I can listen to it and not be talking on the camera at my head, it sweeps across this space, and it's just like, how are you doing that? It's kind of like when you get a car and it's got 37 speakers in the ceiling, and it's all DSP'd to hell, and it's like, that's why this sounds so good, because they're canceling out the shape of the car. I'm wondering if this is rudimentarily canceling out just the fact that, like, if I'm standing here, I can still hear the imaging from the center. How is it doing that? I enjoy an expensive speaker if it feels like it's doing shit worth its cost. And at $7,000, this better be doing something magical. And guess what? As I stand here before you, I gotta get these down in the basement, because up here is like this. I'm astonished how well they're doing up here. When I bring them to an actual enclosed space with treatments in the ceiling and no walls to reflect off of, well, it'll have some walls. I wonder if having no walls will freak it out, but it's got no walls here, really. That doesn't count, and this is a bunch of fucking tables. By the way, if you want to watch a video of me building the Mega Filter 4000 for the smoke that we had assuming from the release of this video publicly a couple weeks ago, yeah, check it out on Zeo's second channel, because it's got big old Merv 15s and a blower fan built into a box. So check that out on Zeo's second channel if you want to. That's 12,000 subscriber channel no one ever watches. So I'm going to bring these downstairs today. Today's my live stream day on Twitch, Wednesdays and Sundays if I can. Bring these downstairs. They're insanely heavy, by the way, because guess what? Wood is light and metal is not light. So I'm going to struggle to get these sons of bitches down my basement. Like, those are lighter and they're massive. And get them set up in the review space and see what they do sitting on a couch down there. Because if they do this up here, Lord knows what they'll do when they're more personal. Minnie the Moocher from Blues Brothers. Anyway, we're down here now, and it's been down here for probably a week. And I just moved them. Tonight's the night where I'm going to film the rest of this review. So I'm like, they were here, and they were straight. And I'm like, all right, turn them. No. Okay, straight again. Okay, now back. Back to something interesting. Wider. No again. Well, it's a half no. As you could hear, by the way, I reassigned these next track, last track, play, pause. I got to complain about the remote because it's $7,000. This isn't the remote. I reassigned these to work with the FLIRC so that I could use infrared to just be like, because I'm never going to use these on Bluetooth. Now, if you are using them with like a smart play, if you're using them for like actually what you use a smart speaker for streaming, these will also work there. But since I am feeding this, am I feeding you fiber optic from the Matrix Audio Expeditive 3? I'm never going to have a chance to use these 3 dormant buttons. So boom, Peter Gunn theme. Please go watch the Blues Brothers, not 2000, not the 2000s, the original. Dancing with all over the neighborhood. Anyway, battery died. So here's the thing. This area is not huge, and I want to push these speakers further away, but at the same time, just like upstairs, they're good intimate. Like being here, being at the line, the carpet line, was perfect. Like we're gonna get back to that. I'm not gonna finish this review with them here, but there's one thing I always tell people, and I'll tell it to you again. When you get speakers, no matter if it's a tower or a bookshelf or on your desk or in your bathroom, it is usually perfectly 100% free, no money back guarantee, just to move the speaker. Just move it. Just move it around. Just slide it over, turn it, and turn it. Put a book underneath it. Just put a cinder block underneath it. By the way, I've raised them up approximately 3.5 inches. Just because when I'm sitting, I wanted this to be ear level, and the TV is higher than I would normally have it on like a regular wall because there's a giant center channel there. And, you know, again, that was free because I had those bricks in the house. Plus, they're on furniture sliders now, so I could just slide them around. It's free to move speakers. And if you said I could have $10,000 speaker cables or mica cables, and, you know, you're allowed to move them around easily, give me that. Give me the that one. Because the $10,000 speaker cables aren't going to do the same as moving a fucking thing 6 degrees will do way more than any amount of source gear can fucking accomplish. So now, let's put them back to where I like them. So hold on, I'm gonna. So why didn't you ask me, baby? Didn't you think I could? All right, probably played way too much of that song, and it's gonna get me demonetized. That's where they belong. For this distance, for this space, with that screen up that high, if I'm coordinating sound, if I didn't need to put them up for music. Like I was actually getting a pretty good arc of like the center image where people were singing was coming a little bit higher than, you know, where the tweeters were sitting, and it was fine. But I wanted it it's weird because you put it up 3 inches and the sound stage center goes up like 8 because it's going up in like a logarithmic gain. I don't know. Anyway, let's get off the couch. No couch. There is a sub here, the Ellipson. Apo sent that. I forget the model number on it, but it's like $900. Little tiny baby $900 sub. And I wasn't gonna, but then I gunned, and it's So here's the thing. These speakers could absolutely be run by a purist without a sub. 100%. These side drivers, whatever size they are, and there are 4 of them. I realize this. Obviously, here's the competition. We were discussing it before. Buchardt A700, also $7,000. These 2 speakers are wholly and entirely different. To the point where you could own both and just be like, well, today I feel like I want to have this like large, expressive, smooth experience with the Kefs, and then the next day swap out, bring again on giant cinder blocks, bring out the Buchardt A700s, and literally fuck your own face. because that's the difference between the two of these. The Kefs are gentle, delicate. They're not entirely made of metal, by the way. I didn't lie, I just didn't know. I had to finger the port here, which, by the way, there's a lot of warmth coming out of here, to carry them. And they're insanely heavy, and inside the port you could feel the wood. So obviously, whatever they're doing, it might be a metal skin wrapped over wood, but it's something that's different. I could walk up to any of these speakers and be like, that's all wood. That might not be wood. So yeah, back to the A700s. Go watch my review of those. My review stands. If I wanted to impress somebody, someone who doesn't know anything about hi-fi, Buchardt would win. Because those just throw sound through 4 insane drivers right in your face. And then this tweeter with the horn, it's a lot. It's a fucking lot. And this, delicate. I can push them up. I can get them loud. In fact, they have the same number of drivers because there's 2 here, and that's 2 there. That's 6. And there's 2 there, and 2 in the back. That's 6. Wholly different presentations, though. I feel like those don't want to be in the audiophile society. They're there to show you music. And these will show you music. And they'll also hand you a brandy. And would you like to smoke a cigar? It's imported from Cuba. These are high-end speakers. The best way I could describe them, which I know that, Zeos, I'm so glad you got them sent out to your house and you spent all these fucking days and days with them to tell us they're high-end speakers. Did you see the price tag? Yeah, Zeos saw the price tag. But, you know, they have to do something to earn that price tag. The remote doesn't do that. But the presentation of sound, the way it does, the things it does makes them worth it. It's a completely and a wholly different sound than the only other 7,000 speaker I can currently compare to in literally the fucking room. Because you sit here, I'm just using this as an excuse to sit, and you play the next track, and you don't know where the sound's coming from. That's the thing. That's the thing. Because on those, you know where the sound's coming from because it's literally slapping you in the face. It's just a big dick, just boom, boom, boom. And this, you're looking at that little front-firing 4-inch coaxial, and you know that has to be doing a lot. It has to be doing a lot because it's only one pointed forward. And yet, no matter where I set the volume on this, which I also want to complain right now before it goes any further, I fucking hate volumes that are on circular things where the left and right switch inputs. Because if you get fucking lazy, switch input. I didn't actually hit it at the top, 12%. I went 14% to the right and I changed input. Stop it, remote control makers. Please stop it. These remind me a hell of a lot of these. My Broadmans. I bought them, mine. And, you know, these were actually the similar prices back in the day. Oh, there's dust on it now. But they have that side-firing woofer and a front-firing tweeter. So this has side-firing woofers and side-firing woofers and front-firing sort of woofer and then a tweeter. So there's more here. It's also in the future, and everything is completely, like, I didn't even know until I read the thing. Each one of the sides here has a subwoofer output that you can plug a subwoofer in to each side. Because Kef knows you're gonna wanna. The shape of sound, I discussed that video 2 years ago. I tried to put it in there because I realized that's what's more important to me. That no matter how old I get in this, if I'm doing this shit at 70 years old and everyone's gonna be like, oh, his hearing is trash, it doesn't matter as much as I thought. Because hearing the high frequencies is just like 1/100% of what the fuck matters. It's where the sound is coming from. That's the important bit. It's having the sound either come dead forward at you or having the sound emit from just space. And I don't know how this is the honest truth. I have no idea how this speaker is directing sound. And I did like the left-right test where I played just right channel, right channel, right channel. And I came to the right channel and I'm listening. I'm like, all right, both sides are emitting right channel. And I came over here expecting some weird fucking, by the way, they're wireless now. I took the insanely nice Cat 5 cable that they provide in case you don't wireless them or you can't, for some reason, they give you this just crazy good Cat 5 to connect it to. So what I wanted to hear is that going right channel, right channel, right channel, and then come over here and hear right channel, right channel, right channel. So that it could explain why I'm hearing this like extra large just thing happening. You would think they're smart enough speakers, you assign left and right, which by the way, now they're reversed from when I had them upstairs. Now this is the master speaker because it has the inputs plugged into it. And, oh, I have to look at the backs. I promise you that. I think I remember promising you that too, a week and a half ago. But apparently not. It's just, this is just emitting sound in all directions. And when you play the next channel, this one's emitting sound in all directions. And somehow these two don't cancel out. And it's, I did notice when I was moving things from the front back, when they were like near this speaker, that it was using more, like there isn't a wall here. There's a cute goat girl, I guess. But I moved them further and further back until they were touching. And then they were using like the surfaces here because this is going to bounce and hit and bounce and hit. And it got a lot warmer in the middle is the only way I'm going to describe that because there's more surface for these to hit. When there was upstairs, there was glass doors in the middle and I had them about that far from the wall. And I never actually played with the distance up there. Here, it's more like where I want to do my thing. They're on sliders, it's on carpet, I could do it. I know this space. And the only thing I will say is when I moved them further apart, that warm ball that I liked became unmanageable. I had a song playing. I knew exactly what it sounded like. I backed it up 2 minutes, got up, moved the speakers, sat back down, and got to the exact same point of the song I was hearing, and the voice was down like half an octave. The treble just faded away. And I don't believe you could move it over and then back and then turn it, because honestly, the directionality of these is not that important. Somehow, those are not as important as you think. You want them to sort of be in your line of sight, but they don't have to be pointed at you. They could just be here. Like I'm sitting right here, and those tweeter is like here or here. They just need to be in the general area of where you're sitting. The other four major drivers are doing shit that I cannot explain to make sound happen in a clear, concise manner. That's the difference. That's the crux. This design makes no sense. If you went out and you got a DIY kit to build speakers and you shoved the fucking drivers on the side and then like a little coaxial from a car in the front and you ran just regular amplifiers to it, it would probably almost guaranteed sound like shit. But Kef has done some weird goddamn science to this so that it doesn't. And I noticed inside here, once these lights got on it, the surrounds of these speakers are folded. They're not just a surround. They actually have like a crisscross pattern like the Purify drivers. Not the Purify drivers, but something similar. I don't know if I've seen any of the Kef speakers that have that externally where you could see it sort of hidden away. And whatever... Zeo, so they're worth $7,000. Yes. That's my conclusion. They're not the same as those. Those are still the powerhouse, hit you in the face, all the detail, all the bass, just all of it. That's everything. That's the most sound you can get for $7,000. But this might be the nicest sound you can get for $7,000. You could sit down here. I was just watching a podcast with it. Just people talking. And it was just so natural. Like, and this is not exactly a room, and these are not exactly sound dampening figurines, although if I could write them off by saying they are, then they are. But it just, even with all this weird space and size and hitting things, and it just emits the sound in a way that's beautiful. It's just beautiful. Let's put on shuffle so that I can get my shit taken off the internet. And we'll do that. Oh, I hit a button. I hit the wrong button. I hit the fucking right button. Now I gotta hit the left button. Gotta be purple again. I have these up pretty high. I'm gonna lower them a little bit. So we're gonna compare again to the Bucharts. Buchardt remote, all metal. volume indicator, source indicator, same amount of buttons. Literally the same, except there's an OK button and not an OK button here, but the exact same everything else. This is, I kind of like the simplicity of this, but at the same time, what's your volume? Do you know your volume? Can I see your, like on this, so I pick it up. If I turn those on, this remote still remembers that that's the volume and where it's set to. So it's just I have so many remotes down here. You know what? I haven't done this in a while. Put the fireplace on. Zeos! Lincoln Napoleon fireplace, because that's class right there. So now that we have that on, the remote. Again, hate this combination shit. I would rather have separate volumes down there and separate input switches up here, because as soon as you're lazy and you hit there and not there, you switch inputs. No matter what you're doing. Now, if you're controlling this as a smart speaker, because it is hooked up to my network, the app, by the way, refuses to work. It worked, and I got it down here, and I had to pair it to swap the fucking left and right on the app. It took me 20 minutes. And then today, I'm ready to do the review. I open the app, and it's like, great, connected, unconnected. There is no speaker. Connect speaker, found speaker. Go to the Google Home app, because it needs to connect through Google Home, and it's like, nah, there's no speaker. And I'm just, you know what? Fuck it. It's working. Is it playing music? I don't give a shit. So any smart speaker with an app, you're on your own, all right? Zeos can't advise you to do or not do things because of that. That's it. That's all I'm going to say about it. The height thing. I raised them up a little bit. Again, center blocks cost $10. I did it because I thought it might make it sound better. And in this particular space, I enjoy now where the imaging is. It didn't do like when I raised those up 4 inches, it kind of ruined them. But then I was using like walls and things. But these just compensate so much better. I kind of want to hear them in my bedroom, but I'm only going to bring them up one more time, and that's to put them back in the box and send them back to headphones.com. Thank you again to headphones.com, who doesn't make any sense to have $7,000 speakers, because those aren't headphones, but they sent these to me. They will be getting them back. Hopefully not damaged. I gotta get back up the steps. All right, next track. Oh, for fuck's sake. Amber Rubarth Novocaine. The entire Amber Rubarth Sessions from the 17th Ward with that album cover is like literally when Ryan was here from Mod House and we were testing the tungsten, that was the go-to. Which track? Novocaine. Okay, over and over and over and over. Of course, it's recorded basically live with no mixing. They didn't cut out the hissing. They just put the microphone on, hit go, and she just... And there's like a delicacy to everything. This music, this sort of music, fucking excels on these. Where there's space and air and just detail, and fine details. Fine details. Even more fine details than like this, because here's the combination that makes it on the Buchardt. It's a very nice tweeter, and this particular driver, and that's bass and bass and bass, or maybe it isn't, whatever you program it to do. But that there, its only job in the whole fucking world is to make a certain frequency range the best it can be. Still have to mention that I think that AirPulse tweeter, which I don't know if you can see it because it's dark, is the best tweeter I've heard in a speaker. And if I pick that up and somehow shove that into the middle of a Kef coaxial, that'll be amazing. But it's just enough. You start hearing its price. When you put on the good shit. You know what the weirdest thing is? I just stood up. Usually when I do that, when I change my height by like 2.5, 3 feet from this distance, you're like, oh, I got into the sweet spot. You can feel the bubble as you sit down. There's no bubble. It literally is as good. I'm standing as sitting. I don't understand. I don't. It's got to be because of the side-firing drivers are somehow making most of the magic. And this front is just kind of like, yeah, we got to throw it in. You know, people need treble and shit. I don't. I literally, legitimately don't. Let me fast forward a little bit in this song. Because I want her to be singing, but I don't want to get copyrighted. The only way to heal your heart is something, 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 and be brand new. You know, I could just... It's one of those speakers I brought down here, and I'm like, I wish I could just keep them down here for like another 7 to 8 months. Just eight more months. I'll 100% understand them in 8 months. I'm 5 feet, or well, hold on. I'll make this easy. I am 2 meters from these speakers right now. That's more like 6'6". It's like there's speakers in the middle between them. What are those side things bouncing off of? How are they throwing sound forward? And not forward and back, and I'm hearing a delay, and then the side ones are just fucking doing whatever, and it just sounds like a mess. It doesn't sound like a mess. It's so cohesive. A sound field. You know what it feels like? All right, here's what it is. We're on the Star Trek Enterprise. Pick your generation. I don't give a fuck. Just not generations. Wait, next generation, but not new, whatever. A good one. And like this would be how in Star Trek like generations they would have designed a speaker, because it would have like sound emitters that holographically projected the band to both sides and to the center, and then they sort of like would fade out, and then there'd be naked dancing chicks, because I run the holodeck in the future. Because if you present me a speaker with a little 4-inch fucking coax on the front, it's gonna sound like shit. I can just tell you right now, it's gonna. Like, if you don't have a forward-firing driver on the Kali IN5s, there's no bass. I have the Kali, the UNF Kali set up with the balls. Have you seen the one with the balls? If you take those speaker modules and instead of plugging them into the bass module, you just plug them into amp, it's going to be a thin, hollow nothing. So those back things are doing 75 to 80% of the sound you're hearing. And they're doing it in a way that makes it better than... Just look at all these speakers. Look at all these speakers. Because as much as I love the tweeters on those, and as much as I love the like forward impact of those sound like a speaker. All these speakers pretty much sound like a speaker. The Broadmans are the exception, because they do a thing where they throw the sound out, literally to the side, and then it somehow still works. So take that technology, make it DSP corrected, self-powered, and French. Kef's French, right? I know they have an office in New Jersey. I don't want to say Kef is from New Jersey, but take that, make it more modern and techy, give it a relatively shit remote, and just sit there in wonderment. All right, this is The Expanse, all right, Aftermath from season 4. And I know if I talk really loudly over at this quiet part, maybe it doesn't think there's music playing and I could keep playing it, but hold on. That's haunting. Because it's like, I'm hearing music. Okay, I've heard songs before. But it's not like a song that's just playing on speakers. It's a song that's playing in the whole front of my room. That's it. It's just, it does shit that shouldn't be possible, and only this speaker design, the 2 on the side, and the 2 on the side, and the 2 in the front, that's it. This is the only way you can make this happen. It's not... As Decon would say, it's not normal. It's like, look here's the remote. Here's the remote, and that little tiny fucking tweeter. How does it do it? I don't know how to do it. Oh, one thing that does annoy me though, I have it currently set to not have the light on all the time, but this light doesn't come on to match that, and it bothers me if like there's purple there, but not here. It makes me very mad. But yeah, no, look at the back. Pair button. USB for service, sub out, other side connector, which is a Cat 5. This is the port. It's very warm in there. This side, coaxial digital in, sub out, service port. That is for the other speaker. There's your HDMI ARC. There's a couple buttons. By the way, never make white text on gold, please. And that is to connect to the network in case you don't want to use Wi-Fi. And fucking buttons, I don't know. I believe the app can even do room correction, where if it's an iPhone, Because the reason that you could do room correction with iPhones is because all the iPhones have the exact same microphone, or at least every series does, and you could have a big collection. Well, there's 100,000 Android phones, so they can't know. So your iPhone, you could do that thing that the Bucharts do, where you wave it around, and it sort of hears the room. Honestly, I don't think these need it. Right now, where I'm sitting, I love my room, like this space. I say room, but it's just a giant open 3,000 square foot basement. But I know this space, and I know how things sound, and I know how fucking pain in the ass things can be to set up that are like built weird. And these don't care. You just plop them down, slide them back, put them up on things. The only time they didn't really, even when I had them all the way back, far apart, and it sort of got like dull in the middle, it still sounded good. But I was taking away whatever this is doing by shoving it in a corner. Again, buy these. Well, save $7,000. Buy them from headphones.com, and then plan to spend 2 weeks with them not in their final position. Set them up just like I've got them, parallel, and be like, okay, now I'm going to try this, because it's free to literally do that. Here, you ready? Watch this. That'll be $75, please, is what this guy would charge you, maybe more. And then just listen for yourself. It's already not as good. Now we lose something. It's gone already. It's already gone. Now I'm listening to those little tweeters and I'm not able to keep up. Look, I don't know how these work. I'm just gonna keep saying that. But that's the magic. That's why if you buy something and you're like, this is how this works. If you bought a magic trick and you're like, well, here's what happens. The hat folds in half and it kills the pigeon, and then it turns the pigeon into mulch, and then when you shake the hand, it looks like confetti, and that's how the pigeon died. I don't want to know that. I want to buy a hat that gets rid of a pigeon, and it just through magic. Magic. These are magic. Don't have them pointed at you. In fact, I hate the fact that they're looking at me right now. It's kind of weird. Although I will say Princess Pasta did judge them harshly, saying, what are those skinny ass speakers? Give me some thick old man speakers. And I'm like, all right, lady, what the fuck else do you want from me? So when the clips come down here, she'll have her way. But yeah, these are absolutely 100% worth their cost. I think they look fantastic too. They just fit. Like, you look at all these other speakers and it's like, yeah, it's got a design and that's cool white, and those are chonky and wood. I mean, piano gloss. I can't knock my Broadmans, never will. But these are just like, did you see the blue they come in? Go to the link in the description. These come in only 3 colors. None of those colors are black. In fact, this is probably the most boring color. And they're like fucking amazing gray. I think that should be the actual name. Can I get a car in like fucking amazing gray? Oh yes, sir, coming right up. They're in this color, they're in a pearlized white, and they're in a fucking blue. Blue! I don't have any blue I got white speakers, I got black speakers, and now there's a gray set of speakers. I don't have blue. I had those Cantos that were blue. Could you imagine you know how cool you have to be, or at least hip, to get a $7,000 pair of speakers that's fucking blue? They look amazing. The Kef blades are blue. I never liked the blades. Straight up, never heard them and I liked them. Whatever they did between the blades development and the LS60, please do it again. Do it again. Right now I'm standing. I hear that sound. It's just... It's from Baka Monogatari. I literally will get it blocked on the internet if I fucking play that. That is track 15, Haikyo, from Kusaki Satoru. I'm standing and it sounds perfect. I sit and it sounds perfect. I move to the side and it sounds perfect. That's another thing too. That was a very Ohm Walsh thing. And you know what? You can always judge if you're going to like something if DMS doesn't like something. DMS, you can check him out on YouTube. Oh, I don't like these because they don't have no perfect center image. I want a perfect center image, and they sort of like, they're too broad, and they allow everyone, like group listening is better. And it's like, bitch, what? Literally, because we're kind of friends. We run Hi-Fi Guides together. I haven't been to the forum. Go to the Hi-Fi Guides forum. Click the sponsor link. It should be Hard Audio by the time this comes out. But yeah, Hard Audio cables having a sale. Don't know if that's relevant to this video when it comes out, but whatever. I don't feel like I'm not in front of that speaker. Like, granted, I mean, there's nothing playing out of it right now, but a little bit of AC/DC, but a little bit of AC/DC goes a long way. Also block you on YouTube, so we'll change that. Yeah, I'm in front of, see, that's the thing, I'm in front of a lot of that speaker now. Oh my God, are these the Ohm Walshes? These are the better Ohm Walshes, because they're omnidirectional. Everything but the rear, and the rear has a port, so I guess you can count it. These are like a 270 degree dispersion. 270 degrees. Like that much maybe isn't getting any sound. Okay, I gotta finish this review. They're great. They're legitimately some of the best speakers I've ever heard, and I wish these were set up in Munich, just in any room. Like if you're, and you couldn't demo source. The problem with the speakers like this, let me just give you a little quick. The problem with speakers that are self-contained, self-powered, self-room correcting and everything is audiophiles, real audiophiles, hate them. Because, well, I don't get to play with my stack of tube amps. And what about my DAC, my $40,000 DAC? I can't DAC. And then all this equipment that I want to use is no, it's literally just, it's perfect already, it's done. They hate that. They fucking hate it. And I don't fucking hate it. Good. Get rid of most of the shit. Put Purify or Orchard Stark Rooms and amps in it, and then just be happy that you have it. I think most audiophile shit will become all self-powered, all DSP corrected, all room corrected. 15 years. That's a long time. It should be 3 years. It should have done already. But they're gonna fucking hold on until they get old and die. The people who are like, I need my $50,000 tube amp to make anything sound good. Everything else is crap. Until they die out like dinosaurs, it won't completely take over. But it's coming. It's definitely coming. Hopefully in my lifetime, we'll see just like perfect speakers doing perfect things in rooms that are just shit. That's the goal. Anyway, thank you to headphones.com for sending these out. And not quite changing my perspective. Certainly the best Kef. I have more respect for Kef because the Blades fucked it up. And now that these are out, and I love the LS50s, and I haven't heard the metas of the I haven't even heard the self-powered LS50s. And they keep talking about on the page that this is using the same technology. And I'm like, well, shit. That means the LS50s must be fucking insane. Because these are literally that. Star Wars. Devo. Yeah, I'm literally standing here and I hear the echo bounce from over. This is not the position to be. Patreon Subscribestar supports this channel. If you like this wallpaper, it's in the Wallpaper Horde link in the description. You get every wallpaper I've ever used ever, all at once. If you join the Resilio Sync Horde, Resilio Sync, great program. Did a review of it on my second channel. So Patreon Subscribestar. See reviews early for $5 a month. Participate in yard sales, which these will not be in because they're going back to headphones.com. Thank you to headphones.com again. But yard sales happen from the 1st to the 10th of every month. I just get rid of stuff that I'm like done with. That Ellipson sub, I'm not sure if Apos wants it back. But it's $900 fucking dollars, a little tiny baby, and I just got $1,100 sub. It's like big. Oh God. Oh, I did a thing. But is she the same one that fell last time? The mother from How Many Swords Can Your Mother Wield? That thing. That was a terrible show. I wish it was a good show. Anyway, Wallpaper Horde, Patreon Subscribestar, see reviews early, participate in yard sales. Here's sound demos. I will have a sound demo for this. You'll only be able to get to it in the sound demo Oasis, which is available to patrons and Subscribestar supporters at $5 or higher. $10 a month gets you in the private behind-the-scenes Telegram chat where you could ask me questions directly. You can tell me I look beautiful directly. You could talk to the roughly 200 other people that join it every time that it recycles. And that also puts you in line for the Swap Meet channel, which has 370 members. So it's a lifetime. So once you're in the $10 chat, hang out. It gets reset every 3 months if you're not a current patron or anything. But you're in a Swap Meet for life. So you could buy, sell, and trade gear. Say, I have requests for this, or I want to sell this. I have seen people exit this hobby from the Swap Meet channel. It's just like there's a list. Here's 30 items. Name your price. I need to get rid of them. That's okay. It's okay to get out of this hobby and do something else. But if you get into this hobby and you go this far, LS60 Kefs. Check out Hi-Fi Guides.